Hey people, thank you so much and welcome back. Today's session we are going to talk about what is data, what are the data types that generally we deal in Six Sigma kind of analysis. So what is the data? Basically data is the collection of observation, which is also called as a raw observation. So these raw observation you will be processed with the help of statistical technique. So collection of observations which will be processed with statistical technique to convert this collection of observation. What we are doing, the raw observation you are going to process with the help of statistical technique to convert into meaningful information. And what we'll do with this meaningful information, we will be using this to make business decision, to make business decisions. This is what the definition of data. Data is a collection of observation or raw observation which we are collecting. You are processing these raw observation with the help of statistical technique, converting it to the meaningful information, and then these meaningful information will be used to make the business decisions. So now question is, what are the types of data we have? Mainly we deal with the two type of data. Either you are talking about the numeric value, which is also called as a numerical data, or you are not talking about numerical, you are talking about the text, which is called as a non-numerical value. Non-numerical data, let's say. Numerical data is also called as a quantitative data, and non-numerical data is called as a qualitative data. Which is qualitative data means categorical data, when you are not dealing with the numbers. There is a further classification of the numerical data. So this numerical data can be classified as a continuous and discrete data. What is the continuous data? Continuous data means any data point which can be converted into further meaningful unit is continuous, otherwise it is discrete. Which means any continuous data, it will come with a unit of measurement, and this unit of measurement is convertible. Example, if you talk about, like, as let's say I will say my height. So my height, I will say 6 feet, or you can say this is 180 centimeter, or you can say 1.8 meter. In all these three value, my height doesn't change. This is only the way I'm representing it. So continuous data means it's a data point like as 6 feet is the height, which can be converted into further meaningful unit. I convert it into centimeter or meter. That's what it is. You can talk about the time. So time, you will say it's a 1 hour, which is as good as 60 minutes, or this is as good as the 3600 seconds. You can say distance. Distance can be in miles, or can be in kilometers, can be in the meters. Such kind of data which comes with a unit of measurement, and unit of measurement is convertible, is a continuous data when it's a numeric value. If it is a numeric value and you cannot convert the unit of measurement, then this continuous data is called, this data is called as a discrete data. This will not be a continuous, this will be a discrete, though it's a numeric value, but this numeric value you cannot convert into the further meaningful unit, which can be as an count, is the first category of the discrete data. Count means when the number start, how many. So how many time you have watched a movie, count. How many cities you have visited, you cannot break it down to further meaningful unit. How many phones till now you have owned, you cannot count, right? You cannot convert into. So when it comes with the how many, like as number of people or number of objects or number of nouns, any, it's a count data. Second category of discrete data is proportion. Proportion means the percentage. So like as how many you are is the value out of total, and you are calculating the percentage of the proportion. That kind of data is the proportion. Example, number of students in your class pass with the distinction, right? So number of students, how many students pass with the distinction is just count. But if you suppose there is a 7 students passed with distinction out of 100, right? Or out of maybe 80. So this value 8.75%. This is a proportion data. If you are telling that 7 students is passed in my class with the distinction is the count data. But 7 out of 85 or 80 passed with the distinction and converting into the percentage, so there it's a proportion data. There is another way as well, which is called as an ratio data. Ratio is 7 student passed with distinction out of 80. So ratio is 7:80. There is no further unit of measurement. So that kind of ratio data is the ratio. Sometimes we calculate the ratio like as how many managers are there in the organization versus how many associates are there. If you remember, typically we calculate in school system as well, like what is the student or teacher to student ratio. This we calculate in schooling system. Or another data when I was talking about the marks is called as an interval data. Interval means how many students passed the exam. When it's come how many is the count data. But it is asking about in what interval. So interval is like you have the marks student. Generally interval will be deciding if a student is fail. Fail means they have received the marks from 0 to 40%. If they are passed with the third division, then you will say they have received from 41 to, let's say, I think it should be around 50. They have passed the exam with the help of maybe in the second division. So second division will start from 50 to 65. They have passed the exam with the first division. First will start from 65 to 75. And they have passed the exam with the distinction. So that will start from the 75 plus. So these are the data. You say 0 to 40 is one interval, 41 to 50 is the another interval, 50 to 65 is the another interval, 65 to 70 is the another interval, or 75 plus is the another interval. This is the way we find out the discrete data. So again, wanted to summarize, data is anything which is the collection of observation, which will be processed with the help of a statistical technique to convert into the meaningful information. Based on this meaningful information, we'll be taking our business decision. Data type is mainly two, either you are dealing with the number or you are dealing with the text. Number or numerical data is also called as in quantitative data. Text is a non-numerical data is called as in qualitative data. Numerical data can be further classified into continuous or into discrete category. Continuous is any data point which can be broken down or converted into the meaningful unit. Like as height, I am converting current height is 6 feet, which can be 180 centimeter, 1.8 meter. The time I have 1 hour can be 60 minutes or 3600 seconds as well. Or the distance can be in the miles, kilometer or meter. Now the another category of numerical data is a discrete data which can be count, like as how many, proportion, how many you got out of total is the percentage, like as here 8 students out of 80 or 7 out of 80 is 8.75%. Ratio 7:80, manager associate, teacher to student ratio. Interval, when you are deciding the interval for particular thing, like as low, medium, high. If category you are deciding the low, medium, high is a basically it's a ordinal data, but it can be classified into interval as well if that values are coming in a numerical data. Like as your low grade or third grade or the fail grade or second grade or first grade will be decided based on these. Now, once we discuss the numerical data, we'll talk about the non-numerical data or qualitative data. So similar way, non-numerical data have the three categories. It's a binary, ordinal, and the nominal. Binary data, when you have only two forms of the data, either yes or no, may be good or bad. Let's say you will say a sample is pass or sample is fail. This kind of data is called as an binary data. Ordinal data, when you have more than two ordered categories. Two plus ordered category, because if it's a two, then it's a binary. But if you have more than two, then it will be ordinal if you have ordered categories. Example like as low, medium, and high. Even your grading system, you are fail, third division, second division, first division, and the distinction is a ordinal data. Okay. So here interval I was telling 0 to 40, 41 to 50, 50 to 60. This is the interval. But when your interval is converted into the grade, fail, third, second, first distinction, then these grades are the interval. Grades are the ordinal data. Similar way, you go for the priority of any, and generally we decide when you are raising a ticket in your organization, like as priority 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you will say, sometimes will say good, or it's maybe better, maybe best, or let's say excellent. Then it's a ordinal data. Okay, nominal data is any noun. And I hope everyone know noun is a name of anything like as person, place, or anything. So noun means, I will say countries you have visited. These all the noun. Households, kind of household somebody is purchasing. Name of the household is a noun. The laptop brands you own is a noun. You will say phone even, any kind of phone you are holding, that's a noun. So any kind of name which is a name of a person, a place or a thing is called as a nominal data, which means categorical clearly. So in non-numerical data, we have three categories: binary, ordinal, and the nominal. That's how we decide our total data. So data, any is a collection of observation which can be numeric or non-numeric. Numeric can be continuous and discrete. Discrete further can be count, proportion, interval, or ratio. Now non-numeric can be binary, ordinal, and nominal. That's about the data type pupil, and we'll be discussing more in detail in the upcoming session. Thank you so much. Have a good day.